Today is one of the most momentous days in Huntington Company history. In front of me are two Cartier Tonka Guichets, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to bring both of these exceptional examples to market. With that being said, I thought why not take this opportunity and share with you guys the history of what is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful Cartiers ever produced. The Cartier Tonka Guichet was first introduced in 1928, and it was first produced as a special commission to Cartier's most important clients. A very avant-garde watch for its time, it graced the wrist of acclaimed jazz composer Duke Ellington, cinema legend Gary Cooper, and so many more amazing people. The rarity of this watch cannot be understated, considering that in 1928, according to Franco Colleone's The Tank Watch Book, the entirety of the Cartier Paris production was only 68 total tank watches, and perhaps one or two of them were Tonka Guichets. The mysterious thing about the Cartier Tonka Guichet is that the history shows that Cartier ceased taking commission for these special timepieces in the early 1930s, so within that short time frame, only a handful of them were ever produced. The model would not resurface again until more than 60 years later in 1996. This was during Antiquorum's The Magical Art of Cartier auction. This took place on November 19, 1996. For this auction, Cartier produced 9 special guichets, 3 in platinum, 3 rose, and 3 yellow gold. All 9 models would resemble the original design. The crown would be at 12 o'clock and the case would measure at 22 by 30 millimeters with a mechanical movement housed inside. These watches were auctioned off consecutively as lots 206 to 214. The combined sale amount equaled to around $887,000 US. If adjusted for inflation in 2025, this equals almost $2 million US. Now fast forward a very short time period. In 1997, Cartier celebrates the brand's 150th anniversary of its founding in 1847. To do so, they created a special limited edition release of 150 Tonka Guichets in platinum. These would differ quite a bit from the original 9 release the year before. This time around, we got a 26 by 37 millimeter case, and notably the crown was at 3 o'clock with a ruby cabochon. The watch we are talking about is in front of me today, a mint example of the beautiful platinum guichet. And something to take note of is a handful of these platinum examples have come to market with a matching platinum bracelet. Most collectors don't know this, but these bracelets are aftermarket creations, not original to the watch. The original deployant clasps were taken from the watch and incorporated into a custom bracelet. While these bracelets have the original Cartier deployant, the bracelets themselves are aftermarket and were never produced by Cartier themselves. The Platinum Tonka Guichet would be the final edition of what collectors know as the MHCP line of watches from Cartier. The abbreviation stands for Manufacturer Horloge Cartier Paris. The lineup would include the Cartier Crash and Benoit Elonge from 1991, and the Cloche and Asymmetrique, ending off with the 150th anniversary Tonka Guichet in 1997. After the MHCP era of Cartier, they would launch the CPCP collection in 1998. The Collection Privé Cartier Paris would be a new era of haute horology for the Cartier brand. Within this collection, Cartier would revisit its archives of historical shapes and reproduce some of the most iconic designs. These models would be given greater focus to movement quality and finishing. In 2006, as part of the CPCP releases, Cartier would announce the new iteration of the Tonka Guichet, this time in rose gold and limited to 100 pieces. This rose gold case measures 28 by 40 millimeters this time around, and it features a sapphire cabochon crown at 3 o'clock. In my opinion, this is the pinnacle of Cartier collecting. The Tonka Guichet is one of the rarest iterations of the Cartier tank. I truly want you to understand the magnitude of rarity for this model. It is estimated that less than 300 Guichets have been produced since its first inception in 1928. Almost a century has gone by and such few examples have been produced. Let's compare that to the Cartier Crash, the watch everyone wants to talk about, and the market is aware of more than 1,500 total examples of limited edition Cartier Crashes. So again, the rarity of the Tonka Guichet is unlike most models from the Cartier lineup. One of the most beautiful Cartiers ever produced, and I get to hold two in my hands at the same time. For more information on these two examples, feel free to check out the website over at huntingtoncompany.com for beautiful write-ups and photos. Thank you guys so much for sitting with me and listening to the history of the Tonka Guichet. With that being said, I'm gonna sit here for a bit longer and soak in this moment. I don't know when it will be next in my life, if ever, when I get to sit down with two Tonka Guichets in one room.